Over at DC Comics, it's been an absolute thrill to read comic books from the new Golden Age, a new publishing initiative in which author Geoff Johns went ahead and returned over to the pages of Justice Society of America for a brand new run on the comic book alongside other intriguing titles like Stargirl, The Lost Children. In the pages of JSA, it's been so fascinating seeing our heroes go up against the time-traveling Nazi known as Degaton, who is trying to eradicate the Justice Society of America from all existence. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today let's go ahead and dive into the pages of Justice Society of America, issue number 4, to see if our heroes can fight back against Degaton. But before we dive deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. Want to go ahead and kick this issue off by reading DC Comics solicitation text for the story. The New Golden Age, Chapter 4. Helena's journey through time continues. Each time period gives her one more piece of the puzzle. But is Degaton too far ahead in his quest to eradicate the JSA to be stopped? Is this truly the end of the Justice Society of America? I want to go ahead and introduce our creative team on JSA 4. This one is written by Geoff Johns, featuring artwork from Mikel Janin and Jordie Ordway. We have colors in the issue coming in from Jordie Bellaire and Kalisz, letters from Rob Leigh, and we have a cover coming in over from Mikel Janin. Here's a quick look over at the cover for Mikel Janin's Justice Society of America, issue number 4. Love how kind of all these characters are showing some animosity here that we're going to see inherent within the issue. And I want to extend a big thank you over to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting this preview of the issue so fast here. And I want to go ahead and start off where this issue begins, in the context of the Greenwich Village in the shop of Madame Xanadu. Honestly, it was so thrilling seeing the return of some of these kind of Justice League dark characters that started right in the beginning of the issue over with Deadman, Detective Chimp, and Madame Xanadu here. And really, I think Mikel Janin's art in the issue is absolutely wonderful. Sometimes I think Mikel Janin's art can be a little bit too static. But I think thanks to some of the kind of visual enhancements of the issue, like these panel borders, these character bleed the page, I think that this is some of the greatest attention that I've ever seen Mikel Janin pay to some of the storytelling inherent within the issue. I love some of the symbolism here that I'm sure kind of Geoff Johns has implemented into his script with the snow globe. Fascinatingly enough, the snow globe extends all the way over to the pages of Flashpoint Beyond, which some of the plot threads kind of carry over into this issue, fascinatingly enough. Also, I think this next page is a really wonderful moment over for Mikel Janin, as there's so much kind of motion here with the interesting kind of trails of light coming from the snow globe. Also, I love it when author Geoff Johns takes the chance to kind of seed some upcoming storylines in here. We saw him take this technique over with the Flashpoint Beyond series, but love these kind of call-outs to maybe future DC Comics continuity with items like Jay Garrick, Green Lantern, and the Sandman. So really excited to see where kind of some of these continuity nuggets lead to in kind of future issues of the Justice Society of America. And I love that Geoff Johns kind of works so far in advance here. I think the way this page is laid out too, in terms of motion, from the first page kind of teasing the fact that there's going to be like sort of like a big explosion with the trails of light. The second panel actually shows you the explosion, and then in kind of the third panel on this page, the kind of members of the DC universe are just trying to pick up the pieces from what happened before. Also, I think this issue does such a wonderful job switching hands over to Mikel Janin to Jordie Ordway when the issue calls for it. This page in particular was so violent and got an interesting sort of sense of cognitive dissonance from me, because I'm so used to seeing Jordie Ordway's art in such a nice and sweet kind of proximity here. So getting the context of Jordie Ordway's art with a really violent outlook for the Justice Society of America is a really thrilling way to kind of get me to recontextualize how I think about Jordie Ordway as an artist. Love the fact that Geoff Johns is kind of switching off here in terms of the artists, and have to give it to DC's editorial as well here. And also on this next page, I think it's great how Geoff Johns kind of recaps readers into the threat over with JSA and Degaton due to the fact that this issue and series as a whole hasn't always been on time in terms of the publishing schedule. And I thought it was captured in just sort of no time, too. It's great reading some of these captions on the page, adding some additional context to how protagonist kind of Helena Wayne feels about some of the events in the story. Love this page in particular as well from a kind of written sequence and from an artistic sequence too, because I think Mikel Janin does a wonderful job capturing characters on this page who are right about to kind of close in over on Degaton. And in the kind of ensuing panels and the ensuing pages after this, we get to see the kind of members of the JSA go up against Degaton. And the way that Mikel Janin really finely captures motion over from panel to panel is just really fascinating, really interesting to behold over in the issue as well. Kind of towards the end of the installment, really like how some of the other members of the JSA were fleshed out, including kind of Beth and Yolanda. Really was interested in the kind of Lazarus Planet reference that we got over in this title as well. And finally, in terms of some of those final moments in the issue, there is so much going on in terms of the plot for Justice Society of America. And honestly, you would think that adding one more kind of cliffhanger, one more element to this story would kind of make it go off the rails. But I'm really excited about what kind of new chaos that the cliffhanger for JSA 4 is going to bring us to over in the next issue. Thought the conclusion of the tale had a really nice sort of funny sequence from Geoff Johns. Think he's done a really good job kind of balancing the really dark tone of this series versus some of the more comedic elements in this issue as well. So those are some of my thoughts over on Justice Society of America issue 4. I think this is a really fun and subversive comic book that's really kept me guessing and kind of spans so many different locations and different timelines over across the DC universe. Really excited to see where this one is going next and for how some of those additional plot threads that were seated in the issue will serve to inform future issues of the series. Well, I want to know from you, what were some of your thoughts over on this issue of JSA number 4? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video, and we'll be back really soon for more excellent comic book contents. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.